Hey there, Jake from Gravity PDF here. Today we're going to look at setting up a report using the new Gravity PDF report for GFChart extension. This extension includes 4 different template designs called Maxwell, Alice, Metro, Kiama, and Una. And each of those designs have 2 variants. So you've got a total of 15 unique layouts to choose from. Each of those layouts support different unique combinations of fields, but all of them have common settings. So we're going to look at the common settings today. So we're going to use Maxwell's standard for this particular video, and I've just added a name and a file name. Under the appearance settings, we've got A4 for the paper size. I've set the font to Roboto Light and 12 point on the font. Other templates tabs where you'll find these settings particular to this report. So we've got main heading here, intro, which is a rich text field. You can add up to 4 charts in your report. Additional info box, this is displayed below the charts, and a header and a footer. So the main heading is going to get displayed at the top of the report. So let's go and call this our sample test report. Now the introduction will be displayed below the main heading. So it's a rich text field. We can add bold text, italics, we can add lists, you can include merge tags or even shortcodes like GFChart calculation shortcode, and also images if you wanted. So we'll just include some example text and some bullet points. We might even add a bit of italics text. And last but not least, I'm going to click down here. It takes you to the GFChart list page. And on here we've got this calculation that has been set up before. I'm going to copy the GFChart shortcode here and we'll include it in the intro. Next up, we will go and select a chart. So you can select up to 4. The more charts you add, the longer it'll take to generate the report because it's got to crunch the numbers, and then that data is, the aggregate data is sent off to GFChart's secure server over HTTPS. And then we have to await the response with the image that can be displayed in the report. So the more charts you add, the longer that process takes. Now if you set up notification scheduling, which is in our documentation a bit further down in the docs, it's not a big issue because that's all done, processed in a background task. If you send this report every time a user submits the form, that's when you can notice some speed issues. So we recommend going into the Gravity Form settings menu, clicking the PDF sub-menu, and then enabling a setting called background processing, which offloads that notification sending process to a background task when that form is submitted, and the user doesn't have to wait for all that processing to happen. It'll happen in the background. So for this setup, we're going to select the sales demographic last month chart. Now, if you add more charts, it's going to change how they get displayed in the report. So one chart's going to display really big in the report and make maximum use of the space. If you select 2 charts, they'll stack on top of each other. 3 charts will have the first chart as a full width, and the next 2 charts in a split column layout, and 4 charts will do that split column layout for everything. So it'll be a grid. Additional info, another rich text box gets displayed below the charts. So this content is displayed after the charts. You might put in contact info for questions about this data. Contact Simon at example.com. Then you've got a header and a footer. So usually these are reserved for your logo. I'll select add media and go and add our logo here. If you have quite a bit of content in the rich text box, you can come down to this lower right hand corner and scroll it up. And in the footer, we might just put a copyright notice. And we'll hit add. We'll head to our entries now and see what that PDF looks like. Okay. This is what the report looks like out of the box once we've just added our content. So at the top we've got our header logo. This is a bit big, so we might go and reduce the size in a minute. Sample test report, so this is split over 2 lines, so we might reduce this down to try fit it on 1 line, condense it a little bit. We've got our intro text, our bullet points, and then our italics text. And this is our GFchart calculation displayed here. We've got our big demographic chart here, which is a nice bar chart in horizontal layout, and then the additional content, and finally the copyright notice. So if I head back to the PDF now, what we might do is we might just go and change the layout to let's do Kiama. And the great thing about them being common settings is we can change this template and not worry about losing our configuration because they all share the similar common settings. So I also mentioned we needed to decrease the size of the logo. To do that, we're going to hit the text tab here. We're just going to add a new parameter in the HTML. We'll call this style attribute, sorry. And we'll set a max height of 12 millimeters. You can change that to pixels or inches, whatever you want. And that's going to control, it's going to look squished in the box here, but it's going to decrease the size in the PDF. The reason we don't do that with the width and the height attributes here is because it's a header. We don't want the images to get too large, so Gravity PDF does a bit of background processing on those values, and they're ignored. So to override that, use this max height value. So I'm going to hit update PDF now. We may have to change the main heading, but we'll see how it looks in the new template. So hit refresh now. Okay, so this is Kiama. You can see the logo's shrunk down nicely. So if that got too small, we could just bump up those numbers in that max height value to increase it or decrease it. We've got this short intro text and some bullet points again, and our intro, our graph, and then our additional content, and finally the footer at the bottom. So you've got this nice bit of artwork here on the left. This is controllable with a setting unique to this particular template. So under the Templates tab, we scroll down a little bit, we've got this new sidebar image and primary color value that is specific to the QMR standard template. It's not a common setting. So some of the designs do have additional settings like this, and this is all documented in the reports for GFChart documentation on gravitypdf.com. We might go and choose a different design again. We'll go Alice stylized alternate. We might change the font too. So there's a number of different fonts that are shipped, and there are recommended fonts for each template, which you'll find in the documentation. For Alice, in this particular design, it's going to be Lato with the light variant, 14 point on the font size, and a white color, just because the background's quite dark. For the template, we'll just call this report. And charts now, we're going to add another chart. We'll call it let's call it survey results. No, we'll change it to a pie chart. I think survey results is a bar chart. You can see this particular design's got some custom fields to control the color. We're just going to leave them as standard. All right, let's refresh the report now. Okay. So you can see this is actually 2 pages because of the extra content we've added here in the intro and the outro that's pushed it down. But it does give you a good look at how the header and the footer are displaying on this second page. So if we wanted to shrink it down a bit, we could shorten this intro, and that's going to bring it back into 1 page. We might go and do that now. So we'll just have that nice little short and sweet intro and a short and sweet additional info section, and that should pull it all back in line to a nice condensed 1-page report. Right, much better. So again, we've got this our header at the top, and then the title, bit of intro text, and our two charts this time stacked one on top of the other, all fitting on 1 page. So I'll just show you another design now with 3 reports. Let's go and do UNA, and I'm going to move the sales demographic down to chart 3 and put in a progress bar, because that goes really well with this 3 chart layout. And let's refresh our report. Okay. This is UNA and our 3 chart layout. You see similar stuff. Header up top, title, intro, additional info, footer, and then in the middle we've got our charts. So this is the progress bar here. Works really nice in the first chart position when there's 3 charts. And then we've got our pie chart and our bar chart below that. And last but not least, we will do a 4 chart layout. You might do Maxwell stylized. That's a really nice design. We'll swap that back to Roboto. And change this to drinks by age, and survey results. And we'll hit save there and take a look what we got. Okay. So big image up the top here. You can see our logo. We actually need to move to the variant with the white name there. But we've got these beautiful graphs in this grid layout here, position in this report. And so that's all the common settings available in the Gravity PDF Reports for GFChart add-on.